All right, so we've got the recording started. We have our wonderful guest Bhavya Gupta, whom we are going to introduce in a second. But we have Varun from Delhi, Yuvan from Chennai, Prashant from Coimbatore, Anuruddha from Delhi, Ramanathan from Chennai, Nikhil Uppal from Patiala, Punjab, and Pavan Katari from Jaipur, Rajasthan, and also his friend Dinesh Vaishnav from Kota, Rajasthan, Kuldeep from Noida, Rifat from Bhilai. Wow, Rifat from Chhattisgarh. I hope, Rifat, you have met our wonderful Ankita Maurya from Chhattisgarh. Kratika is from Uttarakhand. And Kratika is also going to be our moderator for this session. She's going to help me with the all the looking at all the texts that are in the chat box. Nikhil Uppal is a great friend who's going to help us too. We have our co-host Prem Sai. Who does not know Prem Sai? Is there anybody in the group who does not know Prem Sai? Can you raise your hand? Oh Lord, seriously? Kritika is just having fun with me, and Nikhil is having fun with me today. Kuldeep, yeah. So, guys, if you if on a serious note, if any one of you do not know Prem Sai, then probably you do not know our COE at all. So please make time to learn about Prem Sai, who is our wonderful national COE lead from Gujarat. He's the backbone. Yes, the Katka is he's the backbone of all our operations, and he's the one who schedules the meetings, send out the invites, writes important messages, helps a lot of people. I mean, if I just keep talking about Prem Sai, it's going to be probably midnight by the time I'm done with 20% of his qualities. So what we'll do today is we will get started with our guest Bhavya Gupta. Bhavya, would you like to talk a little bit about yourself before we do the presentation, and just give us a brief? Just it's like saying, tell me something about yourself, and then we'll have couple Q&A kind of things, and then we'll get started with the session today. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. So shall I present my screen? I
Yes,
have.
sir. Yes, Mr. Bhavya. Yes,
Okay.
we have been waiting to get you from a long time, and it's just due to the scheduling stuff we were not able to. But finally, we have you.
Sure, sir. Thanks for having me, and it's pleasure presenting for the COE group. I have been a part of this initiative since long time, and I have been benefiting and learning a lot from all the other members and all the other presenters. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to present here.
And
So
now your screen is visible, but we see a lot of square boxes. I need to, it is still coming up.
right. So now is it fine?
It's fantastic, Bhavya. And finally, we are able to see you.
Yeah, so my name is Bhavya Gupta, and I hail from Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Um, Currently, I'm in my third year of graduation. I'm pursuing graduation from JNR and Vyas University, JNVU from Jodhpur, my local city itself. I'm currently pursuing Bachelor in Commerce, BCom, from JNVU, and I'm also pursuing Financial Risk Management, that is FRM, which is offered by GARP Institute. And by profession I am a finance guy, and but I love programming and all these sort of things as well, tech and programming side as well. So my aim and my ambition is to build some products that are focused on combining finance with tech side of things. So that is my ambition. And I like to introduce myself as being MS excellent finance enthusiast until now, at least. Because I don't like to call myself expert or master at anything, because there is always a scope for learning a lot more in anything. So that is an introduction about myself. And what I do currently is I share all that I learn every day through my LinkedIn and through my YouTube videos. And that's how I so in the process of posting and making videos, I get to learn from other people as well. So that is what I currently do. And this is my brief introduction.
So thank you for the wonderful introduction. And what we decided to do with you, Bhavya, is we thought we'll ask some fun questions before we start your presentation, like we do the experience in the typical style of our experience sharing. So
Hmm.
let me ask you this. Um, how was your, where did you do your schooling from, and what kind of a student you were?
So I did my schooling from St. Paul's School, Jodhpur only, and it was affiliated with CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education.
Mhm.
And I'm a studious student, as well as I like to explore other co-curricular activities as well. So when I was in my ninth standard, I went for a painting competition, state level painting competition, which was organized by ISRO. It was national level competition, but I went for the state level. It was a national level painting competition, which was organized by ISRO, and I got second position in our state, Rajasthan, in that competition. And I love music as well. So those are my hobbies and interest. And I am a studious student as well. So in my 10th standard, initially I scored 92.4 percentage, but I was confident that I could get more. So I went for the revaluation as well. And as a result of revaluation, my marks were increased by 8. I got an increase of 8 marks, and so my percentage came out to be 98%. And then I
Holy
took up.
God. Holy God, holy God. I mean, can you see the lot of flowers on the screen and the thumbs up, and you're outstanding.
Thank you.
Can you go down? Can you go down on your LinkedIn a little bit?
Right. Can I complete that part?
Yeah,
So
sure, sure. Please go ahead. We love your
so
story.
when I passed 10th standard, I took up commerce with maths in 11th. And
Mhm.
when I was in 12th, COVID wave started. And I was from the batch who was the first batch whose 12th board examinations were cancelled, and we were promoted just on the basis of our previous. uh,
I was just going to ask you challenges, and you read my mind.
okay. So I was from that batch. And when I start yes, that's the answer
So,
to the question.
so
And
were you not demotivated when suddenly COVID started and you thought, oh my God, my 12th is all spoiled. What am I going to do? Uh, were you demotivated, or did you, because the dates kept on changing, and how do you feel at the time?
so if I were to tell you, basically that COVID period was a best blessing in disguise for me, because that was the time when I was able to explore something unconventional. Like that time I didn't study much for my 12th standard, because I somewhere knew that okay, in the last time I can manage, and let's utilize this time for other things. And that's when I got to explore finance side. I developed my interest in finance, in stock market, equity markets, and I
Wow.
started researching about it. And I initially started with Python before Excel. So when I was in 12th, I started exploring Python. And that is where I started with programming. And when the date was, let's say, uh, February was announced as the month when our 12th board exams were going to start. And after that, there was an infinite break, and we were not sure that when the next schedule of examination will come out. So that is the time when I started with Excel. I started learning Excel. That was the first time that I saw Excel and explored about Excel. It was the month of February 2021. That was the first time I explored Excel. And during that time of uncertainty, I started with Excel. And hence I don't regret about uh, the decision of delaying exams, because if those exams were not delayed, or if they were cancelled instantaneously, I would have not explored Excel. So that was the best thing I could have. uh,
So what I know about you so far is,
hmm,
you just told us that you had 98% in 2019 in your CBSE secondary school. You
Right.
had a 96% in your 12th standard in 2021.
Right.
You also did a lot of NISM certifications. Like you said, you have done multiple certifications in NISM stuff.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So, and the interest you had was from right from the blessing in disguise that you had.
Yes, sir. So NISM examinations I started giving since the summer break of our 10th standard. So I was sure that I was going to take up commerce, just that I was trying to test myself and prepare myself for taking up commerce. So I started giving those examinations. And in my 11th standard, I also did uh, these certifications as well. So I am also a fellow member of Insurance Institute of India. So it has three
Fabulous.
stages. It
Yeah, please
has
go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
it has three stages, and just before the COVID, I gave my last paper of in this triple I, and then COVID struck. So I have done fellow, and I have also done CFA Investment Foundation in the month of August 2020 during that COVID time, and this was the last time when it was offered for free by CFA Institute. Later on, it was made paid by CFA Institute if we want to
Yeah, you
pursue.
got lucky then.
Yes, sir. So that's why I say that that period, COVID period, was the most luckiest part of my life until now.
So, Bhavya, one interesting thing that I saw in your profile was you have you have been on YouTube since 2017,
Yes, sir.
6 years and 10 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you be kind enough to just click on your YouTube channel and just show what all things you've done?
Yes, sir. So I have over 270 plus videos on YouTube, including
Wow.
yes, including shorts and long format videos.
Uh-huh. So, can you talk to us about like few of them, like the ones? What are the top three that you love? I mean, you have done so many of them. If you are asked what are the top three videos that you love about, you liked it a lot while presenting it, and the audience loved it also.
So if I were to show, mm, like
I
I
think
personally,
I'm when I'm reviewing this, I'm liking almost all of them. The I like the presentation style; it's very clear. The thumbnails are very clear. And I haven't gone and seen them in details, but I'll do that after I finish this session. I love this. I really appreciate it.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So this is the video that I like the most, because in this video, what I did basically, that I tried to compile the power of all things, all the tools that we have in Excel, like VBA, Power Query, all the formulas, dynamic array formulas, all things in this one tool. So what it does basically, that there is a website screener.in, and it dynamically fetches data from that website and shows us all the financial statements, and we can do industry wise, sector wise analysis of companies. So this was something that I built for my own, but it was also as per the feedback that I got, it was also useful for other people, and other people were also interested in this. So I thought of making a video on this tool. So this is my favorite video until now. And uh,
With
like
with me as a host, no, none of the guests know what question I'm going to ask next, but I'm going to ask you something interesting. So,
right.
so you've been on YouTube and you're a very talented individual, in MS Excel and finance enthusiast, you call yourself. Where do
Hmm.
you see yourself like few years down the line? Like 5 years down the line, what do you want to be? Who do you want to be?
So 5 years down the line, I see myself as first of all, I wish to see myself as a successful investor, uh, not managing people's money. Like, I have that ambition as well, but if I were to say, for 5 years down the line, I want to be a successful trader and investor. That's the first thing I want.
Who's
And
your who's your role model in trading and investing?
so I don't have as such role model. I have many role models, so mix of all things. And what I do is basically I try to analyze it myself and try to learn it myself. And uh,
Is Jhunjhunwala one of them, or Saurabh Mukherjee?
uh, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji, sure, for sure, role model. I am very inspired by him, very much inspired by him.
How about Marcellus Investments, Saurabh Mukherjee?
Uh, that is bit tricky, because I do like his thoughts and do like his research, all things. But if I were to talk about Marcellus Fund, I don't like it much. I like it, but
Understand? I mean, and that's okay. You can have your own reasons.
right.
Um, yeah, but he's a good person who has started something in India. So I appreciate his entrepreneurship. That's what I like about him.
I surely like this, and he is the one who has inspired many other people to invest in India, not just in equity market, but in India,
Correct.
and in structural businesses, the businesses that are clean, whose financials are clean. His main focus is on forensic accountings to
Yeah,
keep
there's
being
a
promoters.
beautiful book by him that I've appreciated
Yeah,
in the past. I think the first one was called as Coffee Can
coffee
Investing
can
or something.
investing,
Yeah,
coffee can investing, diamonds in the dust, gurus of chaos, and which
yeah.
multi-millionaire. I don't remember the name exactly, but yes, I have read his books, and he's a great guy. I love his thoughts. I love his research.
Sure,
I love
sure.
his analogies as well. He links many times cricket with stock market, so that
Correct.
analogy is also what I like Rahul Dravid style and Virendra Sehwag style. That is what he uses in his books as well. So
So
I like.
Bhavya, other than your achievements in school,
Hmm.
uh, what have been your major achievements that you are particularly proud of? It can be a personal achievement or it can be a professional achievement, something that you really like about yourself, that you want to be known by.
So, what achievement do I? So, the the best achievement that I could think of, that people recognize me for my work. Like, you invited me for this talk, so there might be something that I am offering that got me here.
Got
So,
it. Got you.
that opportunity, and like people valuing my work, they like my work, they get value from it. That is my major achievement, and that
Yeah.
is what I like the most. Like the feedback that I get on my videos, the how they help them. That is my biggest achievement, I think, till today.
Gotcha. I'm sure you'll get a fantastic feedback from all the people who are watching this, and the people that are not watching it and just want the recordings. Um, I think they'll miss out on a lot of things. Um, so Bhavya, one of the question that typically is asked in interviews to people is, tell us about a mistake that you're. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. All of us.
Right,
I have made thousands of them. Kratika has made 2,000. Premsa has made 5,000. Everybody has a different count, right?
right.
So tell us about and any mistake or any setback you've had, um, and how do you deal with it?
So, mm not mistake as such, but I think like how like I have many, but I am not able to gather those into words.
Okay,
Uh,
let me ask you a simple one. So you
right.
made like these 200 plus videos, and lot of aspiring people, they want to make videos and they are like either afraid or shy or something else happens. I mean, they just don't have the technology. Just don't know how to do it. So when you were making your initial videos, did you make a lot of mistakes back then?
Yeah, so that time I surely made lot of mistakes. If I were to tell my motivation for making videos, my motivation was that let I started with watching Excel tutorials, and I started watching videos by other people. And I tried doing some things on Excel, but I was not getting that motivation to do to implement those things in Excel. simply because I was not aware that what kind of application can Excel have, and what are the things that Excel can achieve for us, because I didn't had that exposure to the practical world. So I was lacking motivation, and that's why I switched to Python, and I started learning it because I could see its implementation, like people were making certain applications, certain utility tools using Python. So I was fascinated by that. So that's how I started with Python. But sooner I realized that Python for now is not what I'm going to use as such in my current field of study. It is Excel that will be of use for me. So I was looking out for something that could give me that motivation or that kick, that so that I could keep on learning Excel. So the first and the only course that until now I took on Excel was one by Leela Gherani ma'am on Udemy. So
Right.
that was my first course that I took, and I was really fascinated by that, and I loved her teaching style. I loved what she taught, and I soon got interest in that. But still, like I was lazy that why should I watch her next tutorials? I was loving them, but I was not able to keep on that momentum. So that's when I decided that I should start making videos and post them on YouTube. So uh, that would enhance my communication skill, and as well as my presentation skill, and
Excellent.
it would keep me motivated, because somewhere there is an urge for getting views and for getting subscribers. So
Right.
that kept me motivated, and those concepts, like they got ingrained in my brain, because while making videos I used to get stuck lot of times. While speaking, we used to make mistakes, and while doing something, while making a video, I used to realize that okay, this was something that I was doing right, this was something I was doing right. So recording that same thing multiple times, like it kind of वो मेरे माइंड में बिल्कुल ऐसे छप गई एक तरह से, कि वो
Right.
चीजें बिल्कुल वो
So
वीडियो
Bhavya,
बनाते बनाते
Bhavya, how much time does it take for you to create one video and edit it and make it presentable from start to finish? How much time? For example, the reason I ask this question is, for example,
हम्म
let's say there's a Kritika Jain, or there's a Prem Said, or there's
हम्म
Rifat Asri, there's anybody that wants to build a video.
हम्म
Uh, can you guide? Can you advise how much time does it take from start to finish to build a decent video that is very presentable?
Right. So, if it depends on how much time have we dedicated in making videos. Like for my first 100 videos, average time, let's say if video shows up of, let's say, 15 minutes here, it would have taken me approximately 1 hour in order to complete all the recording part, all the editing part, and all those things. So 15-minute video used to take 4x time. The duration it shows up here. So that was for the first 100 videos. It takes time, because and for longer videos that is exponential, because in longer videos there are many parts that we have to showcase. So if, let's say, if we made some mistakes in earlier part, we have to re-record it. So that would take up time initially. But as we get fluent with our communication, and as fluent we get from the feedback that we get by others, the time would reduce. So right now, if I were to count in all the things, like at base, I do just basic editing. I don't do any fancy editing, no captions and all, just basic editing. And I just make basic thumbnails in PowerPoint. Like, these thumbnails look attractive at the first sight, but these are like auto generated by PowerPoint itself. I don't do very much in it. It just take me 5 to 10 minutes in order to build this thumbnail. uh, Video recording part, it depends on the kind of topic that we are taking up. So if, let's say, if we are recording 20-minute video, it would take me now approximately 30 to 40 minutes, double the time to record that video. And editing would take me, let's say, another 10 minutes. So approximately, if it is a 20-minute video, it would take me 40 minutes in order to get it complete and
Understood.
upload it
Good
on
insights.
video.
Yeah. Thank you for those insights, Bhavya.
And
Can you tell us? Go ahead.
these
Go ahead.
like these shorts, they are the most easier for me to record. So if so like what I do is that in or first thing that we focus on YouTube is to maintain consistency, that we are consistent on YouTube in order to post anything, any videos. So what I do to maintain consistency is, let's say if there is a week, I will post they are posting should be consistent. So I will post, let's say, two long form videos, and gel them up with 5 shorts. So that keeps up the content consistent, because these shorts are very take a very little time to make them. So yes,
Understood. Understood.
mix of both of them is good.
Okay. So Bhavya, you can close down the video. I just want to ask you one last question before I have some audience questions as well, and then we'll get started with the presentation.
Hmm.
So the last question that I have is, Bhavya,
Hmm.
is everybody has some strengths and weaknesses.
Hmm.
How would you like to define your strengths and weaknesses? And I'm not talking about strengths in Excel or PowerPoint or like, talk to me about your character strengths that you have or weaknesses.
So my character strengths are like, my strength is that if I start with something, let's say if I'm at a problem or I'm doing anything, then I'm committed towards doing it, and I'm compassionate. I don't take up anything if I'm not sure about myself being committed to that thing. So that is my strength, that I choose things wisely, that okay, this is my cup of tea, I will take it up, and I will not just like do it on the face of it. I will deep dive into it. So I want to know A to Z of that, not A to Z, but most of the things that I can, as per my caliber, know about that thing. So I take up
I,
those things that I'm committed about.
I really appreciate your candor in talking about commitment as one of your core skills, and obviously shows up in what you're delivering, how you write in the groups. Everything comes across very clear. Talk to us about weaknesses as well.
Weakness is that, like this same thing sometimes backfire at me as well. Like if there is some problem that I know that it is of no use for me, let's say if at something and I know that it is not of my current use and it is not going to help me as such, but just for my like personal uh, adrenaline rush, just to satisfy my greed for learning more, I uh, give in more time to that problem, although my other commitments and my other priorities are at stake. So that is my weakness, that like there was a problem. If I were to give an example, like next month I have my exam, but there was a problem which I thought that okay, let me try, and if I could solve, I could get it solved, let's say in 1 hour, otherwise I would skip it. But I could not skip it for straight 3 days. I gave up my straight 3 days on it. So that is my weakness as well. So that is the area that I need to focus on. Like sometimes I forget my other priorities in order to fulfill my desires. So
Thank you, Bhavya. This was excellent. I liked how you explained both weaknesses and strengths. Uh, I'll spend 5 minutes with the audience, and then we'll
mm,
get started with the presentation. But in those 5 minutes, starting with Lahiri Ghoshika from US, she's in Tampa, Florida. She will begin by asking you a question on anything that we just talked about, or your basic profile, or uh, whatever the audience wants to ask you. And
right.
then we'll begin with the presentation without interruption, and we'll have questions later on the presentation itself. So guys, this is your time. Lahiri, I would like you to unmute yourself and ask any question that you have of Bhavya, because you know the topics we are going to cover today. But at this point of time, uh, this was like a mini interview with the Bhavya, just to know him better. If you would like to ask any question, this is the time. We'll not do a lot of. We have just 5 minutes, so we'll have few members of the audience ask him questions.
Sure, sure.
Goshika Lahiri, can you hear me? Okay. Anybody else that wants to do it? Please go ahead and ask. Guys, this is your audience interaction time. Please make use of it. Please unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yeah, Bhavya, which software are you using for making a YouTube fast videos?
Oh, okay, so let me share that as well. I made a post on this few months back. This is the tool that I use, and it is completely free to use. I use it for recording as well as editing all my videos. This is the tool. So I will share this post in the group. Like
Fantastic.
this is the tool I found out after years of my search, because all other tools had that restriction of recording only recording only to up to a limited duration of time, or watermark used to be there. But this is a really good tool.
Guys,
Okay.
when you're unmuting yourself, can you please make sure that there's no noise in your background because there's a lot of disturbance from the background. Okay, thank you, Bhavya. This was wonderful. We will take advantage of your years of research, and I'm glad that you've arrived at this tool. Anybody else that has questions for Bhavya? Prem Sai, do you have anything? You always have a question.
Yeah, I do. So as I was asking, like Bhavya, you are like a champ for the from the beginning. But I'd like to ask, like, how Python journey has like inspired you? I mean, to did you learn some other tools, or did you like wanted to feel like make it better, something else? I mean, do with it, play with it, or did did you want to like learn something else, some other tool?
Right. So I started with Python and I learned it for approximately 3 months, and then I switched to Excel because somewhere I realized that if I learn Excel, then I logics are same, only the syntax difference and all those things are different. But if I learn Excel, and like if I imbibe that in myself, VBA and all those things, then I would be able to learn other things smoothly. So like in Excel we have formulas and all. uh, First I started directly, let's say, with Power Query, but I was not able to get good hold of Power Query concepts. I was not able to understand anything. But as soon as I started giving more time towards formulas, I was able to grasp those Power Query concepts as well. So those concepts remain the same, but I try to stick on one thing. And now I'm confident. I'm not sure, but I'm confident that I will have a good hold on other things, considering the fact that I can write complex formulas in Excel. So that is something that will help me in further cases. So things that might sound, let's say, complex in Power Query, if we break down those things in Excel and and analyze those things, then they seem easy in Power Query as well. And all the other syntax, all the other things like map, reduce, all those functions are there in Python and other languages as well. I have explored SQL, I have explored DAX as well, and Office scripts, all those things as well. And again, while learning only, I will start posting videos on them as well. So that would be my learning path. uh,
So, Nikhil Uppal or anybody else, do you have the questions? Because I know that Nikhil and Katika are always having good questions.
Yeah. May
Yeah.
I?
Please go ahead.
Bhavya, and so do you have any tips for time management? So, like scrolling between YouTube and your college and all. If you could share any time management tips.
like I don't go to college. I don't go to college because our college is not something that offers us very prestigious degree. I'm just doing it for formality kind of thing, because I have to do graduation. Otherwise, I just go to college for giving my final last year exams, final examinations, and that's all. That's why I get time to make videos and all those things. Otherwise, if I were to have to go to college, then probably I too wouldn't have got this time. And about time management, like I too am not much good at it. Like I said, if I let's say start watching a series, watch web series, then uh, i I keep in mind that okay, I would only watch it by 12 p.m., and after that, if anything is left, I would close it. But I end up finishing it completely. So I cannot myself, I'm not myself good at it. But yes, if I am doing something, like say I'm making video, then I'm committed to it. So I,
Apurva Dabhadkar is here with us, and she's a professor in she's been a professor before, and she's also great at baking. She's a lot of things, and she's currently doing great. She's been with the COE for a long time. Apurva, I would like you to ask an interesting question from Bhavya. Apurva Dabhadkar ji, you're coming after a long time, and that's why I'm picking you. Okay. Malika has a question. Let's say you're helping others, helping people who are somewhat new to Excel. What topics in Excel would you tell them to work on? For
so
example,
hmm,
because right now the truth is majority of the people are worried about jobs, or what kind of questions I'll be asked. So if you were the teacher or you were the instructor and somebody came to you, hey, like Malika is coming to you and say, hey Bhavya, please help me with the what kind of things I would like to learn first, such that the recruiters take note on me, and what kind of projects can I make? Give me some help. How would you help her?
so my take is that, like, if we keep in mind that we have to do this thing for getting a job or getting recruited somewhere, then then there is like nothing specific that we can do. If we like just do it for sake of it, not with an aim, let's say, to achieve this thing or this thing, then we will automatically get good at it. But if we have an aim in mind that we have to get a job, and if we are just starting, let's say, if you are already good at it and then you're asking like what topics we can do, then it's fine. But if just from right from the start, if our aim is that we have to achieve this thing or get XYZ job, uh, then uh, then we end up focusing on only that part. We cannot explore other things. So that is my take. And if
Bhavya, you know why I loved your answer? I had to speak up because I really loved your answer. You know why? I had once upon a time I met a great one of the great authors. There's a
hmm,
meeting of lots of authors, and I was invited to it, and
hmm,
I spoke to one of the authors who got a major prize in US, and I asked
hmm,
him, कि uh, somebody in the audience had asked him say similar kind of a question like how do you, because whenever I start, that fellow said that I'm good at writing, but whenever I start writing I have writer's block and I'm not able to do anything, and you've written many books, and many of your book have been bestsellers. um, so how do you do so much of writing? How can you do it? Or
hmm,
how do your books win prizes? And his answer was same as your answer. He said, I don't worry about writing or publishing like a uh, award winning book. All that I focus on, my target is to write 5 to 10 pages every day. Even if I'm able to write 1 page every day of my life, I'll be a happy person. So I don't do it to win prizes, have books or awards, or being invited to all these functions. I just write because I love to do it. And
hmm,
as long as I'm doing 1 page every day, I am happy.
happy, right?
And so
Absolutely.
this is the same pattern that I found in your answer, where you're saying if you just do it for from a job perspective, let me learn the index match or par query, par pivot, or VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP, because any Tom, Dick, and Harry on YouTube can give them learn these 5 things and you will pass your interview. So
Right.
this will solve the immediate problem maybe, but if you really want to learn something, if you really practice it, practice one thing, one or two things every day. At the end of
Hmm.
30 days, think about how many things you would know.
Right.
So
Exactly.
I really appreciate Bhavya your thinking and your answer. Absolutely wonderful.
Right.
Kudos to you.
While making videos as well, I don't have this in mind that I want to promote anything or I want to like earn money from it, because that is a byproduct. We will get it if we have
Yeah,
quality.
we absolutely. I'll Bhavya, I think I should when next time when I come to India, I'll meet you because this is awesome. I mean, everything else is a byproduct. If you do the thing that you like the most and you keep doing it regularly with discipline and consistency, of course, I mean you there's nobody that can stop your success. आपको कोई रोक नहीं
कोई नहीं
सकता
रोक
in
सकता,
हिंदी
नहीं रोक सकता, नहीं
कैसे
श्योर।
रुकेगा?
बिल्कुल सर, वो परफेक्ट डेफिनेशन है, कोई नहीं रोक सकता। अगर हम बिल्कुल जो चीज करें, बिल्कुल कुछ नहीं सोचना उसके बारे में कि कोई XYZ हमें कोई लेट से उसके लिए कुछ बोलेगा करेगा, हमें बस अपना काम करते
Very
रहना है।
true.
और एक एंड वन थिंग दैट हेल्प मी द मोस्ट इन लर्निंग एक्सेल इज, और एनीथिंग लेट से, दैट we first of all we learn by teaching others. That is what helped me the most. And second is by solving various problems, like get joined to various communities, various communities of your domain, and then solve a variety of problems of other people. So that automatically helps us get explore different areas, what all things are there in Excel and what all things are there in the tool that we are using, because we don't know all the things, or we might not be able to explore all the things. But in that process of solving those problems, those simple sub problems, they make us learn a lot, and those sub problems will be later used in some other big problem. So those small things, keep a note of them. Keep like I maintain an Excel where I keep noting those things somewhere that I learned, or and from those things I get ideas from for my videos as well. So I keep on adding all the ideas for my next videos, or any upcoming, or any idea or any problem that I might not have solved but I aspire to solve it. So I keep it as a journal, and then I later to try to solve it. And those things help a lot in further learning things,
Yeah,
helping others. And
I truly admire your perseverance on this and the how you're approaching this whole thing is uh, is very nice. Um, so uh, so like I said, the 5 minutes of the questions are over. We'll have Apurva Dabadkar. If she is still there, we'll have her ask one last question.
Actually, sorry, I was traveling. I was catching a bus, so I could not
We can't hear you, Apurva. I know that you were traveling.
unmute myself.
uh, I think Apurva, you can
Yeah, yeah.
write in chat if
Yeah,
there are
she can write in the chat later on. Apurva is excellent, and we'll catch up with her on the time on the day if we cannot get the chat. But why don't we get started with the session, and then if people have other questions, we can take them towards the end.
sure, sir.
So please go ahead with the presentation, Bhavya.
Right. So this is the Excel, and this is what I prepared as a section about me. So I prepared this drop down to show where I'm present and on what platforms I'm present. So like if we select YouTube, then YouTube will pop up, and LinkedIn,
Fabulous.
then LinkedIn will pop up. So these all are formula linked, and no VBA, no Power Query, nothing is used for this. All using formulas. And if I were to show, let's say, one height sheet.
Premsa, if you're noting this, I would love for this thing to be there in one of the this is in one of the groups. We'll post this too. This is very good. This is a good way of telling us about yourself, kind of thing.
Right. So this is this I uploaded the images on Drive, and from that Drive I used this image function in order to get those images, and these links, and then used lookup here, X lookup, in order to get these images and this drop down. So this is about these are my links. These are the places where I'm present and where you can connect with me. Right. And let's start with the main session. That main agenda for today, that is Power Query. So what is Power Query? Power Query is a kind of add-in that we have in Excel. Before 2013 version, it was an add-in which we used to import from outside in Excel. It was not inbuilt in Excel, but all the versions after 2013, it is an inbuilt add-in in Excel. And what is Power Query used for? It is used for it has tons of use cases. We can use it for any kind of data manipulation. Basically, it is a ETL tool, extract, transform, and load. So you can extract data from any data source, even SQL, from web, from PDF files, from other Excel files, from other folders. We can extract data from any data source that is supported in Power Query. So if I were to go to data, this is the place where we will get to see Power Query, all the things that we can do in Power Query. So let's say we can get data from Power Platform as well, from Azure, from other databases. So it is it performs the action of extracting. Second is transforming. So after extracting the data, we can transform it as per our needs in the way we want to present for further processing, or for, let's say, making pivot tables, or for making any kind of visualization. We can clean our data if it has any inconsistencies. So that is the thing that we do in transforming, and that forms the core part of Power Query. Approximately 40 to 50% of things that we do using Power Query. And the third thing is loading the data. So we can load the data as a connection, or we can load the data as a table. We can load it as per our needs. We can load it to the data model, and then further use it in building our relationships, in building our measures for DAX. So for all those purposes, we can use Power Query, and we can do all sorts of transformation that we wish to do in Power Query. So that is a ETL tool. And now let's start with the main agenda for the session, that is M language. Now, what is M language? Let's see. After loading this, let's say we have this table in this Excel. We have these two tables. This is so where we can see the table name. This is where we can see the table name. And I want to ask, let's say, people in the group, that uh, uh, table name in a single Excel, table name will be unique, or we can have the same table name for multiple tables. Like, this is kind of Q&A from my side. So if people can answer, we can have single table name for multiple tables, or is the table name unique for all the tables in a single Excel sheet? Where can I see the chat? Right, correct. Everyone is correct. It will be unique, right? The table name will be unique for every table in an Excel. So we have unique table names, and we can see that table name for this is TBL bonus, and table name for this table is TBL data, because we have the data of each employee in this table. Now we can load these tables to Power Query editor. So what we can do, we would go to data. We will stay in any cell of this table. We will go to data tab, and from here we will click on from table/range. So it will uh, get data from this table in this Excel sheet. So we will click on this, and not necessarily the source has to be a table. It can be a named range, or it can be an array as well. So we can get those data as well in Power Query. So we have this data in Power Query, and these are the two steps that Power Query generated automatically for us, right? And the code that we see here, this formula, this complete formula that we see here, this is M code. M code stands for, M language stands for mashup language, right? And if we go to advanced editor, this is the part, this is the complete part which we can see here. This is called M language. These all steps are recorded here, and any transformation that we further do, all the steps will be recorded in Power Query by automatically by itself, right? So these are the codes generated, and for now, let's remove this change type step, because we don't need this. What does this step do? It basically transform the types of this data, because in case Power Query doesn't know the what data type to assign to each of the columns, we can assign it by ourselves. This is automatically assigned by Power Query, so we can remove this step. And just notice the pattern here, that it has used a function. These are functions in Power Query. Like we have this function excel.current workbook in Power Query, and what it is doing is, so let us do one thing. Let us create a new blank query. So we will go to new source, other sources, blank query, right? And we will ourselves write that function. So best way to learn M language is to learn from the steps generated by Power Query itself. So we know that there is some function excel.current workbook, and let's see that what does it do. So we will write equals to excel.current workbook. So we get this intelligence, and we get to see a lot of other functions that are present in M language. Excel.current workbook, and we will open the brackets, and we will see that what are the arguments that it accepts. It doesn't accept any argument, so it is a parameterless function. So we can, as it is, implement this, execute this, and we got this as a result. Now what is the result that we are getting? What does this indicate? It indicates that each of the named ranges or tables that we have in our data, we will get a list of each of the tables or named ranges that we have in our workbook. We will get a list of all those tables and name ranges here as a table. So here is the name and here is the content. That what is the content that it contains, right? Like let's say we had uh, two sources in our Excel sheet. Both were tables, so the content is table and the name is the first name was table data and the second one was TBL bonus. Now this is the first part. Let's see the second part. What does it do? Now we just saw 2 minutes back that table name has to be unique. So if this is TBL data, there can be no other table with the same name TBL data, right? So what does it do? It extract this particular record. We want to extract this particular thing, this particular table from this complete table, this particular table from this complete table. And on what criteria? That this name should be equal to TBL data. What criteria? That this name should be equal to TBL data. Let's say if I open curly brackets here and I write 0 here. So what it will do? It will extract the first record from that table. So it extracted the first row from that table, right? First row from that table, first row or first record, both are the same things. Let me show it again. What was the first row? Table and TBL data, content and name. Content was this table and name was TBL data. If I write here, open here curly brackets and write here 0, 0 means, so index in Power Query starts from 0. 0 means the first row, 1 means the second row. So 0 means the first row. So what we are doing, we are extracting the first row of the table as a record whose content is table and name is TBL data. Correct? If we see here, something similar format is again followed here. There are open curly brackets and inside that we have something here, right? We have something here, and similar thing we have done here as well, just that we used 0 here. But in order to make this dynamic, this 0 is static. Because why this 0 is static? Because there might be other tables in our Excel sheet in future, and we are not sure that first table will be TBL data only. So we can make this dynamic. So what we can do, what we are saying basically, we will open square brackets, right? We will open square brackets and we will start writing name. This name, this name should be equal to what it should be equal to. Let's say TBL data, and we will write TBL data in double quotes. TBL data, right? TBL data in double quotes. So we extracted this same thing. We got the same thing again, right? We got the same thing because this is the record that contains the name TBL data and the content as table. Now from this, we don't have to do anything with this name. So we will directly extract this content part, this table part. So how can we do that? How can we do that? How can we extract something from a record? We can simply open another square bracket here, and from this record, what do we want to extract? Which field do we want to extract? Content. So we will write here content, and we got this table in return. and this again change type step was automatically generated by Power Query, we can remove this. So this is the same step that we generated here, that we did here while loading it to Power Query. Now, why does it help to understand this structure? Because we can modify it in future, modify it as per our needs, as per our customization, customized needs in future. So this helps in understanding the M code. And now we have loaded this thing here. Now how will it help? Let's say if we change, we understand the now we understand this pattern, that what pattern is followed by Power Query. Now we can simply change the name here to TBL bonus, and and our table would update to TBL bonus, right? That table bonus part, right? So we have this TBL data here. We can rename our query to, let's say, uh, bonus. Okay, and what we can do, we can simply copy this part. We can copy this part, and in order to add a new step to the query, we can click here, add a step, and we can paste that thing here, right? TBL bonus. Right now we are getting TBL bonus, but we can change this thing here, TBL bonus to TBL data, right? We got TBL data here. So we got TBL data here. We have table bonus here. We have got TBL data here, and we can also let's say we have TBL data here. So let's say we name it TBL data. So we have TBL data here, and we have TBL bonus here. Now let's remove this from here. We have TBL data here, right? Let me add another blank query from other sources, blank query. And like if you want to add this to quick access toolbar, what we can do, we can go here, other sources, and right click here, add to quick access toolbar. I already have it here, so I can directly add a blank query from here. So I have added another blank query, and in this we will explore what kind of transformation we can do in TBL data, and what are the customization that we can follow in order to make it more adaptable, right? So we will, what we will do, equals to, where do we have our TBL data? We have it in data query. So we will write here data, and it automatically prompts us with the correct intelligence. So we will select data here, and we got the data table here, right? We have all the columns here. And again, one thing, that these column names will always be unique. There can not be any two columns with the same column name. Like there cannot be two columns with the same name salary. There will be some distinction in that. So first step, what we will do, let's say these are dates, date of joining. These are presented here as date time format. What we can do here, we can change the type here to, let's say, only date. So we have changed the type here, ourselves, and it was not done by Power Query itself. We can do it, right, as per our needs. So we have converted the type of date of joining column. And now let's say we wish to group this data on the basis of division column, and we have two tasks here. We wish to extract the median salary for each of the divisions, and we also wish to extract the maximum age for each of the for any of the employee that we have in each of the divisions. So we have two tasks here. First task, we will extract the average salary of each divisions, and second column will be the maximum age that we have in each of the divisions, right? So what we can do, we can select this column, and we can explore that option in home tab as well as in transform tab. So we will go to transform tab, and we will click on group by. So this is the operation which is done by group by step, group by function. So we are not doing basic aggregation. So we will click on advanced, because we have two things that we have to achieve. So we can again group on the basis of multiple columns. Let's say for now we are grouping only on the basis of division column. And what is the first task? First task is that we are extracting average salary, right? Average salary. So we will write here average salary, right? And what we are doing, we are finding average of salary. Next thing that we want to do is again we will click on add aggregation. Next thing is maximum age. Maximum age. And what kind of operation are we doing? We are finding maximum of age of employee, right? We will click on OK, and this is the function that is automatically generated by Power Query for us. So this is the M code. This is the table.group function. Table.group function. And you might see the several parameters that it has. So it has in total 5 parameters, but for now we will explore 3 parameters in order to get our work done. So the first parameter that it has is table. So on which table are we going to perform this group function? So this is the table on which we are performing this group function, table.group function. And you can see that this hash and these double quotes are added with this change type name. So in order to omit these hash and double quotes, what we can do, what we have to do is we have to remove any extra spaces from this name. So we can remove this space, and this is a better practice as well, that we remove this any extra spaces that we have in the step name. So we can remove space from here as well. So if we remove space from here, we have got this grouped rows. So on this table, change type table, we are performing this table.group function. The second column is key as any. From this change type table, on which column are we performing this group by step? We are performing this on division column, right? We grouped all these we grouped these rows on the basis of this division column. Let's say all the records, all the rows that belong to HFD division, they will be grouped together. All the rows that belong to RAD division, they will be grouped together likewise. So we are performing the group operation on division column. So we have to input that as text here, right, as a list, and inside this list the column name should be as text here, right? So this is the second parameter that we have, and division is our argument there. So key, this is our key. Third parameter is the aggregated columns. So what columns, what extra columns, what kind of operation do we want to perform, and what extra columns do we want to generate? So what we will do, we will again, we did operation on this division column. So what it did is it generated all the unique divisions that we had in this data, right? These are our unique divisions that we had. And from this, what did we calculate? We calculated average salary and maximum age. Now, how did we calculate that? Again, there is a list. There is a list outside, right? This is the list. And inside this list, we have two lists again. There can be multiple lists, but our task currently is for 2 columns. So we have 2 lists in this. We have a list, and inside that list, we have 2 separate lists. And for each of the list, we specify the column name, right? The new column name that we wish to extract, we wish to generate, and the operation that we are performing. So this is the first list, right? This is the first list for our first transformation. This is the first list. Now, what does it do? Inside this list, what do we have to pass? We have to pass the name of the new column that we have to generate. So what is the name of the new column? It is average salary. If we change this, let's say average salary, so it will change here as well. So this is for generating the new column name. Next step is to write the function that for, let's say, for each of the HFD division, for each of the HFD for each of the rows in this that belong to HFD division, what is the operation that we are wanting to perform? So what do we wish to perform? We wish to average. So we use list.average function, the salary column, right? So let me add another list here. Let's say we add another list here and we name it all. We are going to get all the rows that belong to each of the divisions. So all is going to be the new column name, comma, what is the function that we are performing, that we are going to get each of the rows that we have in that division. So we will write each stands for function, that what function do we perform for each of the rows that belong to HFD division, let's say. So each, and we will use this underscore here. Why underscore? Because we want to get each of the rows here. So we simply wrote underscore here. So we got this as a table in return, right? We got this as a table in return. And what does this table has? What does this table has? It has all the records that belong to this HFD division. It has only filtered data of HFD division. So in a way, this is simple filter step, but we can do this. We can filter our data on the basis using group by step as well. So this is the filtered table for HFD division. This is the filter table for RAD division, for CDFD division, and so on. Now, from this table, let's say we only wish to get salary column. So what we will do, what we will do, we can do it like this as well. Salary, we will open square brackets and write salary inside that. So we'll get that as a list. We got salaries for HFD division as a list. We got salaries for RAD division as a list, and so on. We can do it like this, and this underscore is also not required. So we can get simply, we can write simply inside the square bracket salary, and we will get that. Correct. So we can get the things, the desired columns like that, and this is how we can extract that particular column. And on this list, on this salary column, what action do we are or what operation are we performing? We are using list average. So we have three kinds of formats in Power Query: records, list, and tables. And for each of them, we have separate functions. So we, in order to do an aggregation on list, we can use list.average function and other list functions. So we can use list.average function, open the bracket, and close the bracket here, right? So we will get average of average for each of the divisions. Like this, we can create our own functions, and we can do all sorts of customization that we wish to do using this table.group function. So we have list.average. Similarly, we can use, let's say, list.median function in order to get median salary for each of the divisions. Similarly, we can do, let's say, and we can change this to median, right? We can just change this to median salary. So these are all the kinds of transformations and all the kind of customizations that we can do. And as you can see, there is also third parameter to this list as well, that the output in which type do we wish to present this output in. So this is the number, so we wrote here type number, but it is also we wrote type number for this average salary, but it is automatically generated by automatically um, guessed by Power Query. So this is not a requirement, we can remove this as well. Only two required parameters are these: the new column name and the function that we wish to perform on that column, right? So this is what we can do. And similarly, let's say we wish to extract table list dot, so maximum age, so we use list dot max here, and type number, so we can remove this as well. Type number, right? Type number, we can remove this. And let's see other any other thing that we can do. So what we can do, we can also uh, find. So again, notice the format here. This is another list, and this is the main list. This is the main list, and inside this list we have all other lists. So we can do another aggregation. Let's say we open the bracket, and let's say our new column is employees. So emp, comma, what function do we want to perform? We wish to perform, let's say, we wish to get the employee names. And what was the name for that column? Name, right? Name. So we will open square bracket here, and we will write name here. Okay, we will have to use each keyword here because this is a function. So we will have to use each keyword here. So we got list of each of the employees that we have here. And what we can do, we can find unique list of employees that we have in HFD division, working in HFD division. So we can use list distinct, and we got a distinct list of all the employees that work in each of the divisions. And then we can simply concatenate that as well. So we can use list um, text what was the text.combine function. These are text functions, right? So text.combine function again asks for text as list, and this is the list that contains text, right? So we have given that as a list, comma, what is the separated do we want to use? So we can use, let's say, space and a pipe symbol, right? And we can close the bracket for text.combine function. So we can combine list of all the employees for each of the divisions as well. So these are all the things that we can do using customization in group by step only. And these are all the this is what we can do with other functions as well. So if there is any other functions, first of all, we will allow Power Query to generate the step for us, and then we will customize on our own, right? So this is the approach to go in order to learn Power Query, in order to learn M language, and in order to customize things more. So this is how we got we grouped table on several criterias. Now let's see some operations on dates as well. So what we can do, we will extract, let's say, um, change type table again, right? Change type table again. And what we will do, let's say we wish to extract from this date of joining the only the years, right? Only the years. So what we will do, we will, so there are two different tabs, transform and add column. What does transform tab do? It basically replaces these dates with years of each dates. And what does add column do? It adds another column. It retains the original column, and it adds another column with years listed there for each of these dates. So these two are different things. So we can do both things. First, let's see transform step. So we wish to transform this date of joining column as year. So what we will do, we will click here on date, and we wish to extract year. So we got years here. And again, what it did, it used table.transform columns function. Table.transform columns function, and we will see the parameters that it has. It has table, it has transform operation as list, it has default transformation, and other parameters. So this is the table on which we want to perform transform columns function, and this is the column name on which we wish to transform. And what do we want to do with each of the values of that column? We wish to extract year of each of the dates. So we use date.year function here. And again, this is optional, so we can remove this. So we are getting the same result, right? This is how we can transform columns. And similarly, we can add a column as well. So let's write the formula for adding the column ourselves. Let's not take the help of Power Query for that. So to which table do we want to add the column to? We want to add the column to change type table only. So for adding the column, we have this function as table add column. Table add column, right? We will open the bracket, and the first parameter is table. So table will be change type, right? Second parameter is new column name, that we are adding a new column. So what name do we want to give to that new column? So it will be, let's say, year, right? And the third parameter is column generator, that what do we want to do with that in that new column. So let's say we write each, let's say, date of joining, DOJ. And again, it might not work. Let me show you. It might throw us, okay. Okay, this worked, right? This worked because we are extracting from this complete record date of joining part. So we got date of joining here. Let's say if we wish to extract name here, okay, if we extract name here, so we got names here, right? And in place of each keyword, we can also use we can also define functions in other terms as well. So let's say we call out each of the variables in this record by x. So we can use x here, and we will use this kind of operator, equal to and greater than sign. What do we want to do? We wish to extract from this record. Let's say from this record, what do we want to extract? We want to extract name, but this doesn't work. So what we will have to do, we will have to use x here, then we will get it correct. So this is the difference between each keyword and the functions that we define by ourselves. We can do customization in that part as well. We will use again date of joining here. Again, if I write small j in smaller case, lower case, then it will throw us an error, because Power Query is case sensitive. So it has to be exact. It has to be exact. If it is D capital, O small, and J capital, it has to be same thing here as well. So we will have to use J here, right? And we got the correct as desired, what we desired. We got the correct output. And from this, what we can do is we can extract, let's say, date dot, let's say if we wish to add days to each of these dates, what we can do, this is the date, and we want to add 3 days to each of the dates, so we can do that as well. So now to each of the dates we have added 3 days. So these are all the kind of things that we can do. We can transform columns, right? We can transform columns, we can add new column, we can do all that kind of things, all those kinds of things, right? So this was about M language, and let's see a use case using these functions as well now. So we will go to bonus tab again, bonus query again, and here what we wish to do, let's say we have salaries here for each of the employees, right? We have salaries here for each of the employees. Now for each of these salaries, we wish to know the percentage of bonus or the bonus amount in absolute terms for each of these employees. Let's say salary for this employee is 38,261. So in which bonus bracket does he fall? If we see here that, let's say if an employee's salary is greater than or equal to 0, he will be awarded with a bonus percentage of zero point 0.5, 0.05. That means 5%. If his salary is greater than or equal to 50,000, then he will be awarded 10% bonus. Greater than or equal to 1 lakh, then 15% bonus. Greater than or equal to 3 lakh, then his bonus will be 35%. So this is the bonus percentage that we wish to find out for each of these corresponding salaries. So how we can do that? Let's see that as well. So we will create again another blank query, and inside this we will refer to data, right? We can refer to data. We can do like this as well. What we can do, we will right mouse click here, on data query, and click on reference. If we click on reference, we are again getting the same thing. Why? Because we are just referencing this data tab, data query. So we can do like that as well. So we will delete. Let's come to query 2. Right, this is the data. Now for each of these salaries, what do we want to find out? That, let's say this is 38,000. So in which bracket does he fall? He falls in this bracket. So which bonus percentage will he get? He will get 5%. So we wish to find out his brackets, right? 38,000 falls between 0 and 50,000. So he will get 5% bonus. Now let's analyze this as well. Let's say we have this amount as 38,000. So what we have to do basically, so we don't have anything like approximate matching directly in Power Query. We have to find out some workarounds. So what we will do, we will see here that in salary column, what all salaries are less than or equal to 38,000. So there is only this one record, 0, and corresponding to it we have this bonus amount of 0.05, that is 5%. So we will, first of all, what we will do, we will filter out all the records from that bonus table whose salary is less than or equal to 38,261, and then we will extract the bonus from that, right? We will do that. And similarly, let's say if we have 82,000 as salary, we will again look into this bonus table, and in this 80,000 falls in which bracket? It falls in this bracket of 50,000 and 1 lakh. So what we will do, we will filter out all those salaries from this table whose bonus amount, whose bonus whose salary is less than 82,000. So we will get this record and this record, right? These two records, and from these two records, which bonus percentage are we going to take? We are going to take this 10%. So we will extract the record from those filtered rows. Let's see this in implementation as well. Let's see that in implementation. So let's come to again this query, and let's start writing our function here. Now let's do one thing. Let's add another column, table.add column. We will use table.add column function here. Table.add column, and to which table are we going to add this new column? to data table, right? Table name, query name data. So it contains the table. So we are referring to data table here. Now new column name. What is going to be our new column name? So let's say we name it as bonus amount, right? Bonus amount. And the third thing, that which function are we going to perform? So again, for that, what we will do, we will again write each, and let's say uh, for each of these salaries, we want to get bonus table in return, right? Bonus table in return. So we got, for each of those salaries, we got this bonus table in return, right? Bonus table, same table is appearing for each of those records, right? For each of those salaries. So from this bonus table, what we want to do, we want to filter this table. Let's say we want to filter this table for this particular salary, with this particular salary on the criteria that this salary should be less than or equal to this particular salary, right? So for that, we have this function in Power Query, table.selectRows, 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 right? Table.selectRows, and again it has two parameters, table and condition as function. So this is the table, bonus table, that we want to filter, comma, what is the condition? What is the condition? So for this, we will define a function here. We will open the bracket and we can use any variable name. Let's say we use SAL, standing for salary. Salary, each of the salary, right? This salary denotes each of the rows in this table bonus. So for each of the records, what we want to do, we want to extract, we want to filter this table on the basis of criteria that salary column, right? Again, we will write here sal, open square brackets, and salary column. For each of the salary column is less than or equal to this corresponding salary, right? This corresponding salary. So we will open square bracket again here and write here salary. We will close the brackets, and as you can see that the bonus table for each of these salaries, our bonus table is filtered as per the given salary, right? We got only two records here, only two rows here, on the basis of criteria that from that bonus salary, TBL bonus, our salary should be less than or equal to this particular salary. So we got corresponding results here for each of those salaries. Let's say we see the filtered tables for this particular row. So we got this as our result, right? So we have done one part, and again we can customize it. Let's say we change this to REC, then we can change this to REC. Now just focus here that this REC denotes each of the records, and from each of the records we want to see that each salary from that record is less than or equal to this particular given salary. So this part stands for this salary, this given salary, right? So we have extracted the tables, and from each of the tables, what do we want to extract? Do we want to extract this salary, or do we want to extract only the bonus percentage part? Only the bonus percentage part, right? So what we can do, we can open curly bracket again here in order to extract that particular list, and we can write here percentage space bonus here. This will not work. I will tell you why. This is again giving us this error, invalid syntax. Why? Because of the presence of this space and percentage sign here. So for dealing with that, we will have to open hash sign here, pound sign here, double quotes here, and double quotes closed here. And we got this as a result, right? We got this as our list. So we have got this list of all the bonus that can be offered here. And from this, again, we wish to extract only the last thing. So let's say if we have this 265746 and all the bonus percentages that are less than the salary bracket for this salary, we got this list here, right? But from this, what is the bonus percentage that belongs to this amount? It is only 30%, right? So we wish to extract only the last part from it, only the last part from it, only the last record from this list. Okay, so what we can do, Now this is again a list. This complete part is a list, and from this list we wish to extract the uh, last row. So what function can we use? We can use list.last function. List.last, and again close the brackets here. So for each of the salaries we extracted, first of all we filtered, and then we extracted the last record from last row from that list, from filtered list. And now we can simply multiply this bonus percentage with this salary amount in order the salary in order to get the bonus in amount terms. So we can multiply this complete part with salary column in order to get the bonus amount. So this is the bonus amount that we have here, and this is how we can do approximate lookup in Power Query. Filter, we extract the last part, and then we do again do the steps as per our convenience. Now these are the things, these are the problems when we require M language. Most of the problems we can solve using direct UI options that are available in Power Query, right? This UI is great, but again, in order to make our output dynamic, in order to make complex calculations, in order to do customizations, we use M language. And again, all these steps are recorded in advanced editor. Like as you can see, all these things are recorded here, right? All these things are, let's say for this query, all these steps are recorded here inside advanced editor, and we can do editing inside advanced editor as well directly, right? So let me give you another example. First of all, let us load this, close and load to only create connection. So we can load it as anything. We can load it as pivot table, report, pivot chart. We can add this to data model. We can only load it as only create connection. So we will click on OK because we want to load it as connection only. So let's see another example here. Why do we require uh, why do we need to learn M language? What should be the motivation to learn M language, and what kind of things that we can do with M language? So let me create an example here. Let's say we take, or let's say we copy this particular table, right? We copy this table, we paste it here, and let's do this. And from this, let's say we remove this particular age column, delete table columns, right? And what, let's say we reduce the number of rows as well, because this is just an illustration. So let's reduce the size of our table as well, and let's remove this extra data from here, or let's shift it down, right? Let's shift it down. Okay, so now we have this table. Let's click on table design and let's rename this to, let's say, TBL. Now we cannot rename it as TBL data because we already have another table with the same name. So we can rename it as TBL data underscore 2, right? We renamed it, and we can then load it to query editor. So we will go to data, get data, or from table slash range, because we can directly link it from here, and close. We will remove this step. Okay, I forgot to do something. Only create connection. Let's remove these, right? Let's just randomly remove these from here, right? And let's remove these from here as well, just randomly. I'm removing it just randomly. All right, so we have this thing here, right? We have blanks here, we have blanks here, we have blanks here. Now what we want to do, we want to fill them down dynamically. Let's say if we have date of joining here, for this particular column, date of joining, we wish to fill this down, this same date to all these cells, this date to all these rows, this division to all these rows, this division to all these rows, right? So we, in order so basically we are doing fill down operation. So what we can do, we can again let's say go here and click on TBL data to as connection. We will go here and we can see that we have got nulls here. So null here stands for the empty cells that we had in Excel, right? Empty cells that we had in Excel. Now what we, in order to fill down, what we can do basically, that let's say if we select this column, hold press and hold control key and select this column, right mouse click, and we wish to, let's say, uh, fill down, right? So we can find this operation here. uh, okay, it is not available here, so we will go to transform tab, and we wish to fill down, so we can see this option here, in order to fill down or up, so we can fill down this. So this is filled down, right? This is filled down. Now as you can see here, that it automatically generated this table.fill down function for us, on which table do we want to perform this fill down operation, and what are the columns, on which we want to fill these values for. So these were the two columns. Let's say in future, if we want to fill down names as well, right, names values as well, we cannot do it directly here. If let's say close and load again, and let's load it as load to as table here. So our query is loaded here as table. Now let's say we remove names from here, and if we refresh our query, these are not filled down. These are not filled down. But what do we want to do? We want to fill down we want to fill down values in case there is any blanks in any of the columns, right? That is our task, let's say. So in order to make our query dynamic for that purpose, what we can do, we can again go to query, edit, and what we can do basically, now again notice this thing here. This is a list containing the column names on which we want to perform the fill down operation. If we see here, in order to get the column names for this complete table, what function can we use? We can use table column names function, column names. And of which table are we wishing to extract the column names? It is the source table, right? Source table, again this is a list, and inside that list we have all the column names. So we can simply copy this part, come here and paste it here in place of this, right? And what did we get? We get we get a dynamic output for each of the columns. For each of the columns, wherever there will be a blank row, blank cell, it will automatically fill down for that particular column. So we can remove this, and now if we close and load, we can see this, right? We can see this. And if say, let's say these are empty, and if we refresh this, as you can see, this is automatically filled down. In case more rows are added, more rows of data are added, let's say we expand this, right? So these are two blank rows, and if we right mouse click, refresh, as you can see, this record is again replicated for these two blank rows as well. And if in case new column is added, let's say group, let's say we write here COE. So we want to fill down COE for each of the rows, we can simply right mouse click here, refresh, and this COE is filled down for each of the rows. Again, why we were able to make it dynamic? Because we knew M language. If we don't know M language, how does it work? How can we make it dynamic? Then probably we can miss out on these kind of customizations. So this is the power of M language, and this should be the motivation, that if we want to customize our query further, if we want to make it dynamic, we can blend the UI part and the M language part together to get the optimal results. So that is it from my side.
Fantastic, Bhavya. This was very insightful, and the way you presented shows your, the hard work that you've done making those videos and everything, and which is why you're so confident presenting this information, because like you said, every time you try to solve other people's problems, you get the energy and the confidence to be able to solve any kind of problem anywhere. And the
Yes,
way you
correct.
presented it was excellent. Um, so I would give a couple minutes to the audience to see if they. I know it's this session has been slightly longer, which is good for because we don't care about the quantity of participants. We care about the quality a lot.
Quality, right?
And and of course, some people, a lot of people see the recordings. It goes to more than 30,000 plus people. Um, and those of them who do not see these kind of things, they are the first people to come back and say hi Arun, hi, how are you, or and I get hundreds of those kind of mails, which I have to ignore sometimes because I don't know where they're coming from. What do they need from us? Is there any ask? So I
I so any messages that start with hi, how are you, and doesn't come to the point that what they really want to ask, I normally skip those questions because I don't want to spend my
and
energy where the person doesn't have the objective directly. He must start like hi is okay,
exactly
but it should continue with the flow, like what is the objective, what does he exactly want to ask, then further we can continue the talk. But
correct.
uh,
Correct. And this is why, Bhavya, in all my videos, I'm going to start saying this, that when people need to, when they're interacting with the peers as well as seniors, they need to be specific about their ask so that we are able to help them in the right manner, or direct them in the right direction based upon their interaction with us. So I wanted to make sure that this goes in the recording as well, and I'm going to repeat that everywhere in all the recordings.
right.
So guys, anybody from the audience, I mean, I know this has been a very, very good session, but if you still have a couple generic questions that you want to ask Bhavya, we have a few minutes time to do that. I think I'm going to quiz Prem Sai only, how much he has understood. I don't, Prem Sai, are you still there? Because you're my favorite person to, you're my punching bag. Is Prem still here? He must be he is doing a long hours traveling. So yes, Katika or Varun, please go ahead and ask. Unmute yourself. I'm not controlling this session at all. Just unmute yourself. Go ahead and ask whatever you want.
Okay. Thank you, Bhavya. It was a great session and easy to follow through.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
I mean, do you have any like YouTube or like resources where we should start as a beginner for M language?
So how do you rate yourself with the UI part of Power Query? That way I could let's say suggest anything.
On a scale of 5, I would like 3.5 or 4.
Okay, so like the best resource for learning M language is the documentation itself, right? And another resource that I would like to show is so it is a list of all the resources section. This contains all the needed resources that, and this blog itself is the best resource on M language. So this is one of the best resource, and it contains all the resources, that all the books, all the all the LinkedIn handles or blogs or YouTube channels that we need to follow on learning DAX, Power Query, Power BI. It is one of the best resource list that I have come across. So you can refer to this. This contains all the books as well. So
That's great, actually.
yes, this is I will share this link in the uh, group.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, it's a
I
great
know,
session.
Bhavya, you're in few groups, but I would love for you to send Excel in Excel and Power BI in Power BI, and that'll be really good. Um,
Like I share Power Query part in both Power BI as well as Excel groups because it is part
got
of
you. Yeah,
both.
that's
So
okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I
I
understand.
will share with you, and I might not be able to judge like what is the correct group. So I will share all the
You,
resources with you,
you
and
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We know you very well. You've been an excellent contributor. Just just go ahead and do it.
right.
Um,
Okay.
okay. All of course, just don't post in the opportunity group or the or the
Right.
resume review group, because
Got
those are different. They are for different purpose. Anybody
got.
else has any questions? We said that we are going to come back to Apurva, so I want to make sure that Apurva has not gone to sleep already. Apurva,
No, no, sir. Actually, I was traveling and I was catching train. Today I got late. In Mumbai, a few problems are running there.
I
Like,
know, yeah, the Ganpati season plus the all the Mumbai is like always busy. So Apurva,
yeah, and
how do you like the session today?
yeah,
As
it
a
was a
because
very
you are a
nice
professor
session.
from, yeah, you are a professor and teacher yourself. So how do you feel about it?
Yeah, it was a very nice session, and from starting, I have saw that I hadn't got time to visit his profile, but I saw that after how he completed his 12th, and after 12th, how he got interested and how he learned Pythons and all these tools and how he created interest in that thing. So it is really appreciable.
Apurva, did you know, you always know that whenever I ask somebody a question, there's always a reason why I ask the question to a particular person.
Yeah.
Okay. So when are you going to start creating your videos?
uh,
You don't
I
have
was
to
like,
answer this. You don't have to answer this. You need to think about it. And I want to
yeah,
I
but
want to inspire you to,
why should everybody should create videos? That is my question to you.
because if you're in the profession, and if you have a gift and talent of teaching, then you must do it. Otherwise, if you're in the teaching profession and you're not doing it, then you you you're depriving a lot of serious learners to learn from you. Anyhow, but thank you, Apurva, for being here today with us. Does anybody else have a question? I know Malika, Nikhil did not speak at all today.
Yeah, thank you, sir. But it was a very nice session to learn about detail in M language, because
Mhm.
I just I have just learned about only introduction about M language, and so today I got thorough knowledge of how to get with M language and how that queries are executed whenever you have to do some complex formulas.
Thank you, Apurva. Um, okay.
Actually, your sessions are always nicer, but from few months I am missing every session because on Saturday, Sunday I am not available. Full time I
I'm
am busy. That's why I am not able to join any
I hear
session.
you. I hear you. That's why I caught you today. I'm glad that I caught you today. Prashant, Pavan, Malika, Kratika, Dinesh, Ankush, Anirudh. I'm taking these names because if you have a question, this is your time to ask before I close down the session for today. Kratika, don't raise your hand. Just go ahead and ask. You
Okay.
are everybody's,
Yeah.
yeah. Everybody's free. Land of
Yeah.
the free.
Yeah. Firstly, thank you so much. This was a very great session. And I want to ask, did you learn all this by yourself?
Yes, Power Query I learned by myself. I took a basic course by Leela Gharani ma'am. I took almost all her courses, but
Okay.
that was mainly focused on UI part. But the M language part I explored by myself through YouTube, through Microsoft documentation, and all those things. Like I showed you here, right? That
Yeah. Right.
how can we learn from the formula generated by Power Query itself. So that is how I learned.
Yeah, that's great. And I have one more
Bhavya,
question here.
Bhavya, Katika once said, Bhavya, she called you great three times. Whenever Katika speaks, and if she usually says hi, but if she says three times something, it must mean a lot. She must have really loved the session.
Thank you, thank you. Glad that you liked it. Kritika.
Yes, Katika, please go ahead. Please
Yeah.
complete your.
So, if somebody wants to start their YouTube channel,
Mm,
the person does not that much knowledge, but if they do not have any job and they want to start their YouTube channel, so what is your kind of suggestion or tips for that person, if you can give?
Uh, so uh, like make videos on the thing that you are currently learning, not on something that you have already learned. Because
Perfect. Perfect. I would love. Fantastic, Bhavya. Please go ahead and elaborate on this because this is very important for people to understand.
because the thing that you already know and making videos on that topic will not add any value to your current knowledge. So in order to add value to other people, because the primary focus of making videos should be your value addition. Like value addition for people is obviously there, but it is the second priority. For the first priority, like for adding value to yourself, start making videos on topics that you are currently learning or you are planning to learn. So let's say you are planning to learn any language, so start making videos on it. Start taking up challenges by yourself. Like let's say if I presented you this particular thing, this particular problem, and I showcase the solution to you, try to explore the alternative part and make video on that, right? Like how can you make it more dynamic, or anything that you can think of any alternative. So make video on any alternate solution, or on this problem take up any another problem. Let's say in Power Query we have an option to fill down and fill up, but we don't have any option to fill right or to fill to left. So take up that problem by yourself. Nobody will give you that problem, but take it up on yourself and start searching for a solution, start building for a solution. And in that process you will get to explore and learn many new functions, new things, and make a video on that topic. So that will help. uh, like find out something that is unique, that is not present already, and start searching for problems and start creating videos on that. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, thank you so much. It really helps people, or if somebody wants to start their YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Bhavya, we have a wonderful message from Prashant. He's saying so it was a wonderful session and something like keep it up. Uh, it's his first session here, so I hope that Bhavya has. I think Prashant has really enjoyed this.
Thank you, Prashant.
Prashant, we do all these sessions during Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes we have done it on other days as well. But as and when we find time, usually we find time on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have to make time. We don't find time. We have to really make time. And really, Prem side does a lot of work behind the scenes. I have to do a lot of work behind the scenes to get these sessions coming up. And it is very good that a lot of our guests, some are freshers, some are experienced, some are like having many years of experience. So we have had sessions on technology, we have had sessions on business, we even had session on yoga. So you'll be surprised on what kind of sessions we deliver. And we ask people, we have many more sessions coming up this weekend. Please save the dates for these sessions, because tomorrow there are 2 or 3 tomorrow. There's one day after. So if you watch these on a regular basis, you surely will get motivated and you'll have a good focus. Yes, Pawan.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhavya. Really like your session, and
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to know how can I contact you, because I have already sent you a LinkedIn request, LinkedIn connection, because I wanted to be like you explained such a easy manner in such a easy manner. So I wanted to learn from you. So
Wow.
I'm working on in one company. I am doing some work. I got stuck in that, and sometimes I don't find any people to help me around, and I was stuck in that for 1 week or 2 3 weeks, and
Hmm.
and at end of the day you find that it's very silly mistakes, or like usually when we code now, it's just a syntax mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So can we connect? How can I? Is it possible to connect and to be the guide?
Right, sure. You can connect me through LinkedIn, or you can like we are in same group, so you can message me as well. So like if I'm available or if I'm free, I will surely get back. Right now, I'm bit occupied due to my exam next week, next month, and all those things. But anytime that I am available, I will surely get back.
Yeah.
Like, you can message me on WhatsApp
One,
or
yeah.
on LinkedIn.
One caution that I have for Bhavya and as well as for the audience is when you approach somebody, I will repeat again, please don't say hi, please specify the issue and wait for the person to respond. If you remind him 5 times, he's not going to like. I've been in a seminar, and since the 2 hours, one and a half hours I've been in the seminar, I've received like 78 more messages. So I cannot possibly respond to every single one of them, especially if they have no name or tilde signs, or they call themselves wrongful advisor, or king of somebody has called himself king of dreams. So I have no clue. uh, so please be specific. Yeah, Kratka is saying the right thing. Ask them first if they're comfortable or call or not, and please specify the reason why which you're contacting them. And of course, see some of the leads or some of the people. Uh, I mean, they'll do a lot of pro bono work for the COE. Like for example, Muskan Hand has given many sessions. So has SK. So has Rushika Kale. So has every lead of ours has given multiple sessions. If you have been with us for last 1 year, but they also have their lives. This is not a hospital, trauma center, or emergency. So if you contact them, please make sure that if it is a quick question, like maybe can you please tell me how to do this? If it's a quick question, it's fine, because
Hmm.
sometimes we'll just answer the question if they're available. But sometimes if you need, like, if you need a regular consulting kind of a thing, then some people may ask you to contact them through Topmate or some other, whatever other, or WhatsApp or whatever. But some of those sessions might be paid sessions. So please understand, guys, that uh, if it is like, help once or twice or thrice or maybe few times, or if you're writing in our pro bono groups, you'll get the free help. But if any X, Y, or Z wants to have his own thing on the side, that's between them and the presenter. Okay, so I'm just making it very very sure that
No, so
everybody
that's
understands.
that's the right thing, because at times mm, uh, people expect more than what we can offer, because there are time constraints as well. Some
Exactly, and plus Bhavya, we cannot, like, if you're helping like 10 people daily and spending 4 hours every day in like helping people definitely have to understand the commitments on time that we have, and we don't want to overcommit or underdeliver. So that's important.
right. No, so that's
Right, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Even
will
I
surely
understand.
get back if I'm available, or if I have the time span. I will surely get back
Yeah.
after, like, or and also, like, there are also some misconceptions, like, let's say if someone messages me and then I respond that I will get back soon, and let's say I post
Yeah.
something on
Sometimes
LinkedIn
they'll say
after.
you have a black heart, or you're arrogant, or he did not respond to me. They
uh,
have all kind of
No, no, I
misperceptions
understand. I
regarding
understand,
you.
Bhavya, because I'm
Now,
in the same
Pawan,
profession.
this was not about you, because this recording goes out to a lot of people. We
Yes.
wanted to make sure that the I mean, the general masses understand these kind of things,
yes.
because some and at least Bhavya is not working full time, but there are majority of our leads are very busy, and they especially like Prem Sai. Think of any of the leads in any of the groups; they're extremely busy, and we have to sacrifice our personal time to do what we're doing for free. So
Right.
that's the common courtesy we're expecting
Agree.
from all the members. It's not one person. All right, guys. Does anybody have any other questions? I cannot sleep well in the night without having Nikhil comment something. Nikhil Uppal, the king of Patiala, must
Yes,
comment
sir.
something. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, it was a great, enriching, and insightful session. Thank you, Bhavya. I learned a lot from you. Just one question, Bhavya. How do you look at uh, Python being added in Excel? So, what your thought on that?
So it is a really good opportunity to start learning Python, like it is. So I also have it here. Just a second. Equals to pi. So yes, we have this in Excel, and it is a good opportunity for us to start learning Python as well. But again, it depends on. But again, it should not be our priority. Like first thing is what the first place is taken by Excel formulas, all the things that are already present in Excel, and then later on, in order to uh, in, as a value addition, we can learn Python in Excel. And again, it has several limitations because many libraries don't work in Python in Excel, and we need internet connectivity. So it cannot be, we cannot use it as a project delivery to some client or in our organization. Its use case will majorly rely on what do we need to do personally, not to be able to deliver to someone. So if that is the case, then Python in Excel is not suggested. Then main Python is Python individually is good. Otherwise, if we are in learning phase of Python, okay, we wish to explore Python, then learning it in Excel is better, because what is the advantage of Excel? That we can visualize the output in 2D format in Excel. We can see it here, like we can see the values in each of the cells. But in Python, let's say even in Power Query, let's say if we see this query, then all these steps we will not be able to debug individually in Power Query. It will take up lot of time and lot of things, because and it is case sensitive as well. So before learning Power Query as well, like I suggest that start learning Excel formulas, because logics remains the same, just the syntax changes. And similarly, Python in Excel is a great value addition in order for us, a motivation for us to start learning Python and start journey towards Python. And
See,
it is a
this is
great tool for visualization. So the charts which were impossible earlier in Excel can now be easily made using Python in Excel. All the machine learning algorithms, we can now implement those algorithms and all those things in Excel itself.
So Bhavya, now you know why I call him the king of Patiala, because he always saves the best question for the last. And
Right.
I can sleep comfortably knowing that my Nikhil Uppal has asked something in the group, and I'm very happy today that he has done
Thank you,
that.
sir.
And with that, I would, unless somebody has one last question, I would like to close down the session and offer our flowers, our love, our thumbs up, our applauses, and lot many things, lot many good things, blessings your way, Bhavya. And we will hope that you come up with, you wish you all the best for the exams as well. And after the exams, you can, we'll probably call you back for giving us another session or sessions.
Sure,
Um,
sure. It would be my pleasure to present here.
all right. Any last, absolutely the last question? Okay, Bhavya, I have a comment for you since nobody has a last question.
Hmm.
I would love for you, whenever time permits, please make a banner in your profile, make it optimized, and that will make me very happy. Because
I, yeah, like I had one follower. I do not call follower, a friend on LinkedIn,
right, I
connection on
understand.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like I have one connection on LinkedIn. He was very much inspired by the videos that I post. So he created one banner for me. Uh, I just didn't got the opportunity to just post that there, and like I just don't know, but like I am doing FRM, but I haven't posted anywhere. In my profile, you will not get to see anything anywhere mentioned about Python, because like I don't want to say about it until I am done with it. And like those
No, it's
banners.
not about Python. You can say about SQL. I would like you to say something, and I'm sending you the name of one person
Hmm.
in the text, and this person, I would like you to, especially in particular, I'm telling this to you specifically, not, it is not for the rest of the audience, but this is the one name that I would like you to see and look at the about section in the profile,
Hmm.
and you will really appreciate some of the things that he has begun or he has been doing. So I'm just sending you his name. I've already sent you the name in the. He's into finance, controlling, and stuff like that. He's spent his life in many countries, and of course now he's teaching finance teams, and he's a keynote speaker on artificial intelligence, finance, FP&A, and things like that. So
Hmm.
this guy will be very helpful for you. This is just a suggestion. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Like I have this tendency. Like if you see any of my posts, this is like the most popular post of mine in terms of impressions and all. Like I like to keep it just short, like no flashy headlines and
Right.
all, because like I don't
Yeah,
like it by
because
nature.
those are like just cheap tactics to they're not offering any value. They're like just cutting, pasting, and doing generic. Exactly. I mean, I mean, that's why I said I physically meet very few people, and you are one of them, and you're very young. But uh, uh, there are very few people I like to physically meet, and you definitely are one of them.
थैंक यू सर। मतलब बस मेरा ये एम रहता है कि जो मैं कंटेंट प्रोवाइड कर
हाँ,
रहा हूँ,
कुछ
हाँ वो।
करा, कुछ कुछ आपने ऐसा करके दिखाया जो कि कुछ अच्छा कंटेंट हो। जब अच्छा कंटेंट होगा तो आपको ये सारी बातें, बाद की बातें जो होती है, फ्रिल्स फैंसीज, ये सब, आई मीन ऑफ कोर्स इज अ पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ द होल डील, बट जस्ट टू सेल समथिंग,
हाँ
उसमें there's no goodness about it. It's just
लाइक
if you do everything for marketing and stuff, it's like horrible.
exactly, like I also do not like it is my personal opinion obviously, but I do not like to associate the word expert or master with me. Like I see many people doing that, but that way we are
Exactly.
restricting
Exactly.
ourselves to a certain level.
No,
There remains no.
I've kept saying this in the videos. If you look at the like the topmost people in sports or education or in the field of music, तो अगर आप कोई बहुत बड़े गुरु से बोलोगे क्लासिकल म्यूजिक के
Hmm,
कि कि आपने तो सर बहुत किया है, आप तो पिछले 50 सालों से इसमें तब से गा रहे हैं,
hmm,
द आंसर विल बी अभी तो हमने कुछ छोटा मोटा कुछ सीखा है, अभी तो हमारा रियाज चल रहा है, आई एम डूइंग प्रैक्टिस. that's
exactly.
that's the humility in the people that at least I love, and it can be my personal opinion. um but
Yes, sir.
I'm and I'd love to see that in people, more number of people, but I I can only do so much. All right, guys, thank you so much. I will wrap this session now, and hopefully, Bhavya, this was again, I'll say this was more than wonderful. This was one of the best sessions and outstanding sessions that we've had, and we
Thank
love
you.
being lesson. Against my judgment, I will just because the recording is so good that I really feel that some people may have been generally not able to attend because of night time or because of XYZ or because they're tired. I'll send this out to all the COE members. It goes in all the groups, and I hope people get more inspired, learn something from you, do something, because
Thank you,
action
sir.
is everything. Just just watching and will not help. Actually doing the things themselves, slowly starting to learn, or having you as a mentor, those kind of things are going to help.
Sure,
With
sir.
that, I am saying my virtual thanks to Prem Sai, who might have become so tired after his travel to Hyderabad, and he also has had a few more interviews, and he's been fully busy. So I thank him. Prem Sai, if you're there, I don't know if you're there or not, but I thank you for being there, and thank you to the wonderful audience that we've had. And I love Nikhil Uppal. The most interesting thing about Nikhil Uppal is whenever he sees a good session, he always joins, and he always has great feedback. Even if he has just one question, that feedback is amazing. So I whenever I have to take advice, uh, on a session, I always go to Nikhil Uppal first because I know that he's observed many sessions in the past. So
I
thank you,
have
Nikhil.
seen his content, Bhavya's content, many a times on YouTube as well as LinkedIn. I know he's a great person, but never knew that he's still in undergrad and done so much things. That was inspiring for many
So
of
I
us.
always look at people that are trying to self promote versus people who are genuinely doing the things, and I look at them and I try to invite those people whom I have started appreciating. If I appreciate their work, I invite them to do a presentation like this, and I so that others can appreciate what I see in them. All right, thank you guys.
And also, like, just one thing to
Yeah, yeah.
mention, like many people compliment this about, I am an undergraduate. I see no difference between of any person of any age. Why? Because it is only about giving time to learning one particular thing. I have time, so I am able to learn this thing. If someone has some time, it's just about allocating time. And like priorities, I have currently time, I don't have college, I don't have work. That's why I am able to learn or make these things, or uh, allocate time. But it's nothing about like I am young, or like no differentiating factor on that basis. So that was also one thing that I wanted to communicate.
Correct.
So
And you'll have many more opportunities, Bhavya, to come and interact with our group. And and Katika says, Bhavya, I want to steal your way of answering questions, and I hope, Bhavya, you will allow that stealing of your style of answering questions. All right. With that, enough fun. We had a very good session. With that, I'm closing down the recording now. Stopping the recording.